Hello people, in this particular video we'll talk about the very important thing, that is interview. See, this is something which is a door. If you crack open it, you're in. If you don't, you simply will have to go back and knock the door again. So there are few mistakes which I committed. There are few good points which I understood and got the feedback, which I would like to share with you people, so that you don't make the same mistakes and have to repeat again, right? So let us start it. So briefly, this is the sort of arrangement. Okay, you have to enter from this particular thing and you have to exit from particular this door, and there's a seat over here which is there for you people, and there is a table here which is for a man who is just waiting for here to roast you. But now here is a catch. This man is really not here to roast you. He is very polite. Most of the time he is very curious to know what you have, right? So anything that you have in mind that there will be a monster sitting over here who will eat you, sorry, that is not going to happen. The person who will sit here will be very polite to you. He'll make very much comfortable to you. That will be the wonderful part, that will be the few moment, like the interview. As far as I'm concerned, my interview was like 1.05 hour and I was exhausted. But still, this is something that this person won't make you feel that you were there sitting for like an hour, and so this is the beauty of it. See, when you enter, you don't, and you sit here, there will be some ACs over here, so you have to make sure that if you people are like cold, you people are not very good with the cold. For example, I'm not very good with the cold. If there's cold, the productivity decreases. That is what I felt, right? So if you are also of that type that you don't feel very good when it comes to cold, so I would suggest you people to wear a blazer, right? So when you're wearing a blazer, automatically it also looks good. First thing is this, that it also looks good, and the second thing is, even if it is cold, it hardly matters to you, right? And even if it is hot outside, it is going to be cold inside. So you have to make sure that you're not someone just going there and then shivering in AC. Don't be that. And here the person who is sitting here, right, he is the person with a lot of experience, like a lot of experience. If you lie, he'll catch you and you will not even get that how did the thing happen. This person who's sitting here is the master of roaster, okay, and you're just a monkey who is dancing in front of him. That's all. It is truly the situation. Whatever you see, there are a number of candidates which he has witnessed, which he has even the person have gone under him. So the very first thing about this is that there should be no lies, right? And there should be no free, frank, and casual sort of talking with the person, because he who is here is not your uncle or anyone, right? So when it comes to talking to him, there should be a respect which he deserves, right? And if you want the same respect, you should treat the person with what he is, right? So first thing, you have to make sure that you don't lie about anything. Free, frank, casual, just make sure that you're not any of it. Yes, you should be free, but these two things, no. Free up to a limit, okay. Then the second thing about the posture, you people are grown up, right? So I would not talk about the posture, but yes, sit confident, upright, chest up, chin up, look up. That's the only thing that I would say. Don't cross your leg, you know, keep your body relaxed, but at the same time, don't go very down, don't stretch yourself, right? Otherwise, you will be the person who will regret. See, there will be some sort of questions that this person will ask. There will be question, there will be rapid fire questions, okay? These will be the two types of question which usually he'll throw at you. The second important thing here is that PIQ form. This form you have to fill when you actually go through first day. Okay, you're screened in, so you will fill a PIQ form, right? So this PIQ thing, whatever you write, is the only content that these men have. Okay, whatever the content that you give to him is the only content that he has with you, with him, right? So you have to make sure that these content, particularly whatever about your academics, right, then your sports, whatever the extracurriculum activity, that may be sports, karate, judo, NCC, football, anything, it should be something, if you don't have hobby, make sure that you have very decent hobby. It can be as simple as that I like to go early in the morning for walk, a brisk walk. That is kind of a hobby to me. I do it. Okay, fine, accepted. You don't need to say that my hobby includes some sort of numismatic thing, that I like to collect the old age uh, coins, or I like to play cricket. Cricket is a very common thing, right? And so you have to make sure that whatever the hobbies that you choose, they're decent and they're somewhat acceptable, right? The next thing here is this, that this form, whatever you write, is the only thing that he is going to ask. He hardly what questions he is going to ask are very common, right? Name, maybe sometime he'll ask you something about you, right? Something about you. No, in the rapid fire question, he'll ask you he'll ask you, father, mother, sister, like hobbies, and the extracurriculum activities. And he'll ask about the place that for example, from where you are, like Pune. Okay, from where you are. So this is the thing, this sort of questions he'll ask. So what you have to make sure that there is a pattern in which he'll ask the question. He'll ask about you. Okay, he'll go to your father, sometime mother and sister, or vice versa. Then he'll go something like city, from which city you have, speciality of it. Okay, extracurriculum activities that you have done, your hobbies, your sports, your curriculum of the college. These all sort of questions is the only thing that he is going to ask. So prepare your answers to them as genuine as possible, but they shouldn't be as common, or say something which is not accepted. So whatever he asks, you try to make sure that you have a good answer. See, uh, the first and very common question is the why to join the services. So you should have a strong reason for this thing, that why to join this. If there is a line of course that you have chosen, for example, it can be like after 10th you went to, say for example, arts or commerce or science. After science you went to, you know, again you went to diploma courses and then graduation, or engineering or any bachelor's degree, and then the result is same like graduation. So these can be the questions, that why you went here, why you choose science, why your degree isn't professional, so do you feel that you're lagging behind. So he'll try to put you in a situation where you are not particularly, okay, where you're comfortable, you know. He know that most of the person will not be comfortable in some position, so he'll just try to find the uncomfortable position of yours, and then he'll try to expose it and then exploit it. So what you have to make sure that the question that he asks, you have to answer with smile, right? Answer with smile, okay? No lies, okay? Whatever the answers you give genuinely, okay? And whatever the answer that you provide him, it should be satisfactory. Right. The next very common question that he might ask, or she might ask, or the question which come is like, who's more closer to you? Is it father, mother, sister? You say mother, you say father or sister, then the immediate question is, why is it so? So now this is a trivial question. You can tackle this question, right? You can say that my father is most of the time out for the work, so mother is the first person to be in contact, so I share everything with mother. And there's nothing like I share it with the father, but there is a time gap between their mismatch and schedule. I share it with sister also. She has tuitions and everything, so this kind of rotating the answer in this particular circle without making yourself in an uncomfortable position is also a skill. Okay, the next thing about hobbies or sports or any games. So if you're writing some particular thing, write only those games which you have played. Okay, if you for in my situation I played volleyball, so the question that he asked about the this will be the length and breadth of the ground, then various type of formations, like you know uh, 3-2 or 4-1 or some sort of he asked me. So that were the few things which I was able to see. That can be 4-2 or 5-1. This can be the two formations, right? So these are the few things which he asks. So if you're a person who will say that I play some sport different, and he's definitely going to ask a question. He may ask you about the details and everything, but most of the time he'll not go in very detail. He'll just stick to the basic thing. And even if he goes, so you can say that, sir, these questions, I played the game for the physical fitness thing. It was limited to that. I never went in very deep as it wasn't very productive for me. And that really ends there, right? Now the questions from the current affairs, there are few. He'll ask you that, tell me the few current affair details that you know, the biggest challenge that India has to face, what is the biggest problem to the world right now, right? So now here is a trick. Now as a person, you know that economy is the mother of all. Okay, if the economy is good, everything goes well. At least up to the mark, everything goes well. But once the economy start falling down, everything starts to fall down as well. So here we have to make sure, and we have to really make this thing sure that this this particular thing is important to us. But when it comes to a person from army or navy or the forces, the very important thing and about them is terrorism. Okay, this is something that you must talk about. You shouldn't leave this particular topic, like terrorism. You're getting it? Take a little time, think about it, right? Yes. The next thing that we can talk about, the falling economy of the world, right? The deteriorating positions of the various countries and the organizations, and we can talk about a lot of things like we'll start with the terrorism, okay, which is the biggest threat to humanity. Then we talk about the protectionism. See, this is very important term. Google it and try to understand what it is. Then we can talk about the tensions which are there in the world. Okay, we can talk about the, you know, currently there is some in Iran, there is a problem, right? Then there is a problem in Hong Kong province of China, right? There are some things which is going on in Somalia, Iraq, right? Sri Lanka, New Zealand. We can cite this example. Okay, the Sri Lanka, New Zealand and Somali. Yeah, we can talk this example in terrorism, right? So this is how we actually tackle the question which the respected authority asks, right? Now it is very important. Next thing which is there and which is also important here is that he will ask you the questions. He'll never make you uncomfortable, right? There are myths about it that the person will shake you. No, he will not really shake you. He will be there. He'll really, make sure that you're comfortable throughout the process. He'll make you comfortable, okay? But at the same time, he's not there to pamper you. You have to understand this, that this person is there to select an officer, and he's just checking whether you have that shine or not. Is it clear? So show him that you have shine, and don't be someone back hiding somewhere that I have shine but I will not give it to you. No one is going to take your shine. You have to show them that you do have. The next very important thing here is what type of army related question or navy related or air force related question he'll ask. He'll ask about the training centers. Okay, this is very common. He'll ask about the training center. He'll ask about the recent purchase that Indian armed forces has made, right? For example, now we are talking about S-400 missile system which will procure from Russia. Okay, then there is also some sort of the use of F-15 fighter jet which was there in the India struck down strike down this F-15, which is considered to be a very important fighter plane for US. Then third, here when it comes to there are things, the deals, for example anti-spike spike missiles and so on and so forth. This will be sort of things that will be asked. Is it clear? Okay, so moving forward, we have talked about the questions, right? So now we have to make sure that these questions we answer them honestly, because honesty is the best policy, right? Then the second thing that we do is we don't lie. No lies. Okay. At the same time, we have to make sure that whatever he asks, we answer him genuinely, but at the same time, you answer them like a officer. You don't answer him like roadside Romeo or anyone. So you have to show them this officer like quality. You have to show him that you have this all the qualities which are required, right? This is important, and I understand that you people would have thought so. Before going to an actual interview, I would recommend you to join any interview or whatever the coaching that you have. Go there for an interview. Okay, see, what is there is this, that when you'll sit among the people, okay, and then when you will do this sort of group discussion, or you'll discuss your stories among these people, you will get a confidence. That's the only way you'll get the confidence, right? You can sit at your home, you can talk to yourself, you can tell these stories to your mother, you can do everything possible, but when you go here, you must have that confidence in you that yes, you can. And believe me, you can. I have done. So you definitely can. But at the same time, you have to realize this thing, that there will be people who will come there, they'll be very much prepared. They already have there'll be people who have came there for like 15 16 times for their SSB. That is also possible. So you have to make sure that you come there prepared, you come there with all the experience that you have, right? You shouldn't leave any stone unturned. That's the only thing that I would like to tell you. And when you go for the interview, before that, you make sure that in the academy that you go, in the coaching you go, you have done enough mocks already. Okay, this is important. In the next coming videos, we'll talk about GTOs. Okay, how to perform well in GTOs. This is very important. Okay, because there will be a situation when you will get a chance to lead, there will be a situation when you will get a chance to sit back. So how you perform better in both the thing, we'll talk about this particular GTO in the next video. And after that, we will talk about how even in the GTO you have to 2 minute story you have, they give you a topic on which you have to speak. So that is also something that we'll talk. There will be a group discussion also here in during this GTO days. So this group discussion, there will be some sort of a situation you will get, right? So individual you will do, and then in a group you will come. That is also we'll talk. After doing so, we'll talk about the conference, right? Conference is something like very important part, because up till this particular topic thing, the results are somewhat declared, but there are few names which are there in the hanging list, whether in or out, in or out, in or out. So this is the place where things changes. Okay, this won't last more than 4 to 5 minutes. Okay, sometime it may last for 18 to 20 minutes as well, or it can be even 1 to 2 minutes as well. If they are extremely sure, if they are not sure and they want to know that are they right, this is mostly a time that your buddy going home. So what you have to do, what you have to talk here is also very important. So in the subsequent lectures, we'll talk about it as well. Till then, have a good time ahead. Keep preparing, keep loving, enjoy.